Learn to fight. Yo, John Fitch here. I got another installment of Learn to Fight for you. Today we have a nice example of why you need to do martial arts training that involves sparring. If you are doing some type of fight training, some type of martial art, and there's no actual sparring where you have to go 100% or at least close to 100%, 70% to try out your techniques and test out your techniques and to test them under pressure, you may be in a LARPing type situation where you're not actually learning anything relevant. Okay, this is a perfect example of that. We have a Kung Fu master here who challenged a K1 kickboxer, and we're going to see exactly how this little sparring session they put together worked out for him. A little hint, it didn't go well. You can see pretty much immediately that the Kung Fu master is completely overwhelmed, has no idea what's going on, and he's taking a beating. He's taking an absolute beating here. He's being thrashed. And I must say, you know, the K1 guy here is throwing a lot of combos, but he's being a little bit nice. The last two pieces, pretty hard, but he's just touching him up. You can see Kung Fu master has no defense. He has no idea what he got himself into. Absolutely no idea what he got himself into. And this is what happens when you train. This guy may have trained his entire life, 10 to 20 years, learning Kung Fu, and he's never sparred anybody. Put him in with a professional, and you know, it would have taken a professional to touch him up like this. You could have taken an accountant with 3 years of Muay Thai training, and that guy probably would have touched this guy up just as much. So please, people, if you are training self-defense, if you are learning how to defend yourself, any style, if they do not allow you to have some form of controlled sparring where you get to test yourself out at 70 to maybe even 100%, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Now the Kung Fu guy may have some success against somebody who's never trained anything before, but you can see right here, a little bit of training is going to mess this guy up because he's just not used to the speed and accuracy and power of punches coming through. His defense is just non-existent. He doesn't really even understand what to do. That last little pop was icing on the cake, I think, maybe. But that's why I highly suggest things like jiu-jitsu. Because even though jiu-jitsu is very sport-based, it still allows you to spar and compete and stuff at 100%. And your risk of injury is very low because you're not getting brain damage. You know, as long as you're tapping out before anything serious happens, you can get a lot of rounds, a lot of reps in, and you will be in a much better situation if something does pop off that's not sport related. Okay. I hope you learned something very valuable watching this today. Okay. You need to spar. You need to spar on some level. 50%. If there are controlled drills, that's fine. If you're just fighting your way through certain scenarios, specific situations, that's fine. But the point is, you need to go at a higher level than just drilling and doing katas, or you're going to get your ass kicked. Learn to fight, people. Learn to fight. Learn to fight. All right, guys? Do the training, do the work. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your genes. You owe it to your ancestors to know how to defend yourself. You need to be able to make the fight hard. Make the fight hard. Getting some sparring in with your training is the way to do it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And let me hear in the comments what you think of this video, and if there's any other videos you'd like to see. Maybe link me up with some fights you'd like broken down. I'll check y'all later.